My name is Brenda Schaefer. My name is Brenda Schaefer-Pellenin. My pronouns are she, her. By way of physical description, I am a middle-aged Caucasian cisgender woman with an auburn pixie cut, wearing a gray turtleneck today. And I am joined today by my colleague, Linnell Hansen, with the Arrowhead Area Agency on Aging. We would like to welcome and thank you for joining us for today's session on Your Ride to Independence, Navigating Transit in the Arrowhead Region. So we have arranged for, we're excited to announce that today's webinar will be accessible to a wider audience. We have arranged for American Sign Language interpreters who will be present throughout the session. To access the interpretation feature, you simply need to click on the interpretation button at the bottom of your screen. Additionally, we are recording the entire webinar with ASL interpretation, and these recordings will be available on our YouTube channel for later viewing. So whether you attend the live session or you catch up later, you'll have the opportunity to engage with the content in a way that suits your needs. I encourage you to subscribe to our channel so that you can keep up with the latest additions to our video library. We are always looking for suggestions for future webinar topics. If you have suggestions or topics for speakers, please feel free to send those to us, and I will put my email in the chat in a bit. Please keep your microphone set to mute. Another note, if you experience any issues with your bandwidth or with your audio quality, it often helps to disable your camera. If you'd like, you can enter your first name and organization on to the chat. You can talk, we'd love to hear about how you heard about today's session, what you're hoping to get out of it. If you have any questions during today's session, please feel free to enter your questions into the chat and we'll address them at the end of the presentation. We'll also take some additional questions at that time. At the close of today's session, please feel free, you'll see a quick evaluation of today's session pop up in your browser. So take a moment and complete that survey. It does help us greatly as we look at planning future sessions. And one last reminder, visit our Facebook page for more information about other sessions that are coming up, such as we've got one coming up on estate planning in November. We've also got one coming up in December on social isolation. You can also check out our website at arrowheadaging.org. So about us, the Arrowhead Area Agency on Aging the Regional Development Commission is designated by the Minnesota Board on Aging as the Area Agency on Aging for Planning and Service under the authority of Title III of the Older Americans Act. The Arrowhead Area Agency on Aging is committed to helping older adults maintain their highest level of independence. Area Agencies on Aging are regional organizations that provide services, supports, and information for just about everything that older adults could need and their families. Minnesota has 7 AAAs across the state that are local connections for older adults and to the community supports that they need. The Arrowhead Area Agency on Aging's area of service designated by the Board on Aging includes Aiken County, Carlton, Cook, Itasca, Koochiching, Lake, and St. Louis. Now I would like to take a moment to read our land acknowledgement. As we support our mission to help older adults maintain their highest level of independence, we do this while being respectful of the space we're being welcomed into by Indigenous people. We strive to deepen our understanding of the multiple ways in which people see and understand land and acknowledge the Indigenous people who have relationships with this land. We also acknowledge the decades of historical trauma, loss, grief, and experienced by Indigenous people. It is our promise not to only recognize these truths, but to take action to show support of our Indigenous elders, neighbors, and friends, and understand our place within the past, present, and future of this land. We know that this is just one step in recognizing and honoring the sovereignty of tribal nations. So we are honored to be joined today. We did have another presenter that was lined up, and unfortunately we had something that came up with her schedule and she was unable to make it, but we are honored to be joined today by our presenter, Holly Bachschneider. Holly serves as the volunteer recruiter and travel trainer with Arrowhead Transit, where she helps community members navigate the transit system with confidence and independence. As a travel trainer, Holly works directly with riders throughout the Arrowhead region, from first-time riders learning routes and schedules to seniors and individuals seeking accessible transportation options. In her volunteer recruitment role, She builds a network of dedicated volunteers who help extend Arrowhead Transit's reach throughout the community. Holly is passionate about empowering people through transportation access, believing that mobility is fundamental to the quality of life, employment, healthcare, and community participation. She's excited to share how Arrowhead Transit's work services can help meet your transportation needs and open new possibilities for connection and independence. Holly, I will turn things over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm very excited to be here today. My name is Holly Bachschneider, and I am the travel trainer volunteer recruiter for Arrowhead Transit. And I'm very excited here to tell you more about Arrowhead Transit and the services that we provide to the region. And is the slideshow going to work?
It's gone. Oh. Yep, we're up on your main, should be up on your main slide.
Perfect. So next slide.
We've got the transit team slide up is what I should be able to see.
There it is. All right. So this is our Arrowhead Transit team that directly impacts the Arrowhead region. So our director is Brandon Nurmi. So he oversees all of Arrowhead Transit. Our operations director, Sandra Wheelacore. The transit manager for St. Louis County, Cook County, Lake County is Adam Rowan. Our transit manager for Hermantown, Floodwood, Aiken County, Coochin County, Carlton County, and Itasca County is Jason Rearsall. And our communication manager and marketing is Dominic Olivanti. So this team directly impacts the Arrowhead region as a whole. So next slide is the video. If it works.
Yeah, it is not coming up.
That is 100% okay.
I will
So,
take the link from it and I will send it out on the follow-up email if that works.
yeah, that works.
Great.
So the next slide should be our mission and our fast facts.
Yep.
Perfect. So our mission at Arrowhead Transit is to provide affordable, safe, accessible public transportation and support independence, living, and self-reliance. So we believe that everyone deserves to have transportation and should have the access to it. And some fun, fast facts that we have here is that we are the largest rural public transit provider in Minnesota, and that makes us the second largest in the United States. We operate a fleet of over 120 vehicles in our 10 service counties, and we employ over 180 individuals, including bus drivers, dispatchers, and then and our corporate office as well. And then last year we drove over 2.57 million miles, which is a lot of miles to drive. Next slide. I don't know if it's just so the next slide has our service area. Oh,
no, it's fine.
Has our service area that we provide services to. So we start in Coochin County and have that entire Canadian border all the way over to Cook County. Then we go down all the way into Carlton and Pine County, into Isanti and Chisago County, down south. And then we cover Itasca and Aiken County as well. And that right there is over 21,000 square miles. So in our 10 county service area, over 21,000 square miles, and we are proud to cover each and every single square mile of it. Next slide.
Your slides are advancing.
Next slide, please. Sorry. A lot more riding on Arrowhead Transit.
on your services slide, is that's where you would intend it to be.
I'm on the next slide. Oh,
The
nope,
slide after the list of services?
before. So the one after our service area.
Yeah, there's a lot more. Yeah, we were already on that one before.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it on my end.
Yeah, just assume that when you say advance, it's going to the next.
Okay, sounds good. I'll just keep going then, no matter what.
All right, sounds
So
good.
we like to say there's a lot more riding on Arrowhead Transit than just people. So we love to support locally, and that the way that we do that is that we bring people to appointments locally, we buy things locally, so tires and things like that for our buses, and that brings revenue and support into each community. So there's a lot more riding on Arrowhead Transit than just people. It's everything that we do for each community. So next slide. So the reason that we're here today is for a travel training for me to tell you more about our services and what we offer as Arrowhead Transit as a whole. So next slide. Our services, we offer two services. We offer a dial-a-ride service, which is inner city curb-to-curb public transportation. So that's within each city. So in cities like Virginia, Aiken, Cambridge, International Falls, we have these, it's like we like to call it rural Uber because we bring you from your house or wherever you're at to anywhere within the city limits of that city, of that community. And then we have our commuter routes, which is our standard routes that are between any two communities. So between Virginia and Ely or Hibbing and Duluth, we have these routes. And these routes can deviate up to 1 mile off its intended route. So that means that if you're within the 1 mile radius of our route, we can come and pick you up when you request it. And then that we have that every single county that we are in. And right now, to schedule your rides, you must call dispatch, which is our 1-800-862-0175. Right now, that is the only way that you can schedule a ride is by calling dispatch. And they're always happy to help you schedule that ride and help you with what you need. So next slide. Our tips for our riding. Plan ahead. So know what route you need to go on and where you need to go. So in our brochures and on our website at arrowheadtransit.com/county/schedule, it will bring you to all of our schedules and tell you where they're going to be, what time they're going to be at. So we're in Hibbing for a certain amount of time for this route. Call and we will get you in Hibbing at that time to bring you to Duluth. So know what the route is and what days it's going to be. And we like to say schedule both your arrival and your pickup time at the same time. So schedule your ride there and back at the same time. So because we want to make sure you have a ride back, we don't want to leave you stranded. So when you schedule both at the same time, we're able to bring you to where you need to go. For dial-a-ride, we like to say call an hour in advance, just so we have a bus ready to go for you and they're on time when you need it. And then for commuter routes, we like to say call a day in advance, just because it depends. If we only have 5 people taking a certain route, we're not going to send the big bus. We're going to send a smaller bus. And then make sure you have your fare ready to go when you get on the bus. Arrive early. We like to say arrive 5 minutes early. Our bus drivers only wait for a couple minutes when you're there. So make sure that you're there and ready to go. Our bus drivers have more people to pick up. And then if you need a transfer ticket, let dispatch know when you're on your trip. So we do transfers with Duluth DTA, Duluth Transit Authority, and with Metro Transit. Just make sure that you have a transfer ticket so you can hop on their trip ride as well. So next slide. Our prices for Arrowhead Transit. Our Dial-A-Ride in Ely, Aiken, Floodwood, Moose Lake, and Grand Marais is $2 for a one-way fare. So it's $4 for two ways, and it's $20 for a month for a booklet, and $36 for a monthly pass in those 5 communities. And then our Dial-A-Ride in Carlton/Cloquet, Grand Rapids, Hermantown, Hibbing, International Falls, Mount Iron, Two Harbors, and Virginia is $3 for a one-way fare, or $30 for a 10-ticket booklet, and $54 for a monthly pass. So the monthly pass allows you to ride Arrowhead Transit as much as you want during that month. So you don't have to take out the fare every single time. You can just show them your pass and keep riding. Our commuter routes in all of our commuters are $5 for a one-way fare, $50 for a 10-ticket booklet, so $10 for a round trip. If you're 60 or older, you can get a monthly pass for Dial-A-Ride for $36 no matter the community you're in. And then if you happen to be 90 or older, you can ride Arrowhead Transit for free for the rest of your life by filling out, I put the link in here, Arrowhead, the over 90 bus pass. You fill that out and we will send you a golden ticket to ride Arrowhead Transit for free for the rest of your life. So next slide. So you can pay for Arrowhead Transit tickets. Tickets can be purchased on board an Arrowhead Transit bus. Our drivers carry tickets. You don't need to buy a ticket to get on the bus though. We have fare boxes that you can just drop your fare into. So the $3 can just go right in the box. But if you want to buy the 10 booklet, you can buy them directly from our drivers. But please have exact change. Our drivers do not carry change, so they will not break change for you. And they have the booklets, and they have monthly passes on board. So you can buy both of them from our drivers. If you want to do a credit or a debit card, you can. They are not accepted on our buses, though. Our drivers do not carry the application to do that. You need to pay in advance by contacting Melinda. You can either call or email her, and you can pay with her, and it works very well. And then you may also use a check. You can, I recommend buying the 10-pack if you're using a check, so you're not just writing a $3 check. But our drivers can take checks on board as well. If you go to the next slide, that is what our tickets look like. So our Dial-A-Ride tickets are these red tickets. They say $3 Dial-A-Ride on them and have our phone number and the website as well. And our commuter tickets are yellow. They say the $5, and they do say on them valid for one way. So people know that it's only good for one way instead of just showing them and using them again. And then your impact of riding Arrowhead Transit is that you reduce carbon emissions in the air. Next slide. You save on fuel costs because you never know what fuel costs are going to be. And it's always just nice saving some money. And I know that we live in areas that do not have the most traffic, but riding Arrowhead Transit does reduce the traffic congestion that we do have around. And it's very convenient and easy to use Arrowhead Transit. And then how you can get involved with Arrowhead Transit. Next slide. You can contact us online or give us a call. On our website, we have a contact us form, or you can call us. We'd love to hear how we can help. If you want to see a route added, you have to advocate for yourself. So contact us because we don't know unless if you tell us. Join a meeting attended in person or a virtual meeting just like this to learn about Arrowhead Transit and to share ideas that you may have. And then follow us on social media, sign up for email updates to track our progress. We're always changing, we're always updating to make ourselves better and more user friendly for our consumers. So keep updated. We have some exciting things coming up at Arrowhead Transit. Next slide. Thank you for having me today. And then are there any questions that you may have about Arrowhead Transit?
Anyone? You've got a question, feel free to take yourself off mute and share that question with us.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Holly, oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I have a question. This is Julie Wilson. I'm in Grand Marais with Care Partners. And I'm just wondering, you mentioned on that little slide where it showed $36 for the monthly pass if you're 60 and older.
Hmm.
And I think you said that was for the dial ride, which is the same price as the regular. Was that, did you mean to say that was for the commuter routes? They can have a monthly pass for $36? Or
Nope,
was,
those are for the dials. So it's more for the areas like Virginia and Hibbing and areas like that, but it is for dial-a-ride. We do not right now have monthly passes for commuter routes.
okay,
It's
so
only for
the
dial.
price was the same, I guess, is what I was kind of getting at. The monthly pass
Yeah.
is $36 and 60 plus is also $36. So
Yeah.
there's
Yes.
no price break for seniors on that. I just wanted to
Not
clarify.
in Grand Marais, no.
Oh, okay.
But if they're 90, they can fill out the Golden Pass and happy to
Yeah.
send them a golden ticket.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie.
I have a question.
Okay.
This is Carol Hepikoski, and I live in rural Eveleth, about a mile from Highway 53. And I wonder if I would be if this would be in the service area.
Mm-hmm.
It would be.
I I'm sorry, could you repeat the question? My connection kind of went out there a little bit.
I live about a mile off of Highway 53, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
wondering if I live within the service area for Dial-A-Ride. I live south of Evelyn.
So south of Evelyn,
Yeah.
I do not believe that is within the dial-a-ride limits. So our dial-a-ride limits extend from Mountain Iron, like where Ann's Acres is how far we go in Mount Iron. And then in
Mhm.
Virginia, we go oh, to not even, we don't even make it to Midway for our dial-a-ride in
Okay.
our service area.
I
Yeah.
see. And so that would mean that also I couldn't take the bus to Duluth uh, unless I got myself into Virginia
Yeah,
first.
so you could take a commuter route into Virginia. So we have commuter routes that go through Virginia. We have a commuter route that goes in the morning from Virginia to Evelyn to Gilbert, and it brings you into Virginia. And then you can hop on the dial ride while you're in Virginia and go around Virginia.
So I live 4 miles south of Eveleth. Would I be able to do that?
If you got into Evelyn, we could get you into
Got it.
Virginia.
Okay. All right. What I'm doing is looking for the future when
Mhm.
I'm going to have limited eyesight.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like this is going to be a very viable system to rely on.
Well, and I want to say, just my experience having worked with folks from Arrowhead Transit, if something doesn't exist in an area, share that information. Definitely share where you see gaps or where you see needs in the community, because I think that that has always been something that Arrowhead Transit has always been very responsive to. If they don't hear from, if five people all have concerns about service in an area, but nobody says anything to Arrowhead Transit, they may not know that there's a need there that needs to be addressed. And so I would highly recommend using any of the options there to connect with Arrowhead Transit and share with them what your concerns are or where you see service gaps in your community.
Yes, we're always listening and looking for people to tell us what they need, because if you don't tell us, we don't know. So, and we need the data to be able to go back and say, hey, we need this in this area. So we need data, not just people being like, oh, like through the grapevine. We need people to be like, okay, here's the data and there's 10 people needing this. Like, what can we do?
Yeah,
Okay.
or Carol, if you're involved in any groups in the community or you're talking with friends and things like that, bringing that up and encouraging others if they'd like to see something in an area to also share that that need with Arrowhead Transit so that they know that there is a gap there.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Oh,
I have another question, Holly.
Yeah.
This is something that feels like it's always a little confusing for us when we try to encourage people to use Arrowhead up here in Grand Marais and in Cook County, around Cook County. But so I want to confirm. So in Cook County, when there's a commuter route, it still is. They're just stopping at the stops that are on the map, right? You wouldn't stop along the route at a different place.
We deviate a mile on the route. So when we're in Grand Marais or we're in Two Harbors, we'll deviate a mile while we're in that while we're in that area. So let's say we're in Grand Marais at 9 o'clock. We're in Grand Marais at that time and we'll pick up people in Grand Marais at that time.
And where's the deviate 1 mile? What's that? What is that about?
So a mile on either side of the route. So like you're driving from Grand Marais to Two Harbors, if you're within that mile of the route that we're on, we'll come pick you up.
Okay, you would come pick them up. Okay.
Yep. But it needs to be within a mile of that route.
Okay. And that would just be calling in advance.
Yep.
Like you should do anyways, right? Call a day in advance.
Yes, call in advance. Let us know, like, hey, I'm right here. It's within a mile.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, Julie. Any other questions? I like to leave enough time that people start feeling uncomfortable with the silence. All right. Well, thank you, Holly, so much for sharing your insights with us today. I think your expertise in those transit options, really provides useful information for us that we can use and share in our own lives and our work. To those of you who are attendees today, we're grateful for your time and engagement, your thoughtful questions and active participation. We know how precious your time is, and so we don't take it lightly that you choose to spend this time with us. So before we officially close, I just want to remind you again about the upcoming webinars. We've got ones coming up on November 19th on estate planning. That's with Kristen Parendo with Justice North. We also have one coming up on December 17th on social isolation. And we actually have a full schedule of webinars that we're going to be announcing going all the way through the middle of 2026. So we've got some really exciting things coming up. You can register for these sessions at our website at arrowheadaging.org. You can also follow us on Facebook for updates and announcements. If you're like me and after this you come up with a question that you forgot to answer or that you didn't think of at the time, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are, again, I mentioned we're already planning our 2026 series, and we'd love to hear from you if you've got ideas of topics. Thank you for being, again, part of our webinar series. And we look forward to seeing you next month. And until then, we wish you the best. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.